Greetings, wrestling fans! This is your boy Patrick, and welcome back to another Smackdown review. Now, this episode of Smackdown was taped, so this was not a live episode. So yes, I'm pretty sure a lot of you are aware of the results of this episode of Smackdown, especially with Sami Zayn and what happened in the Ronda Rousey segment. Like, yeah, okay, like I get it. You guys are very well aware of that. But if you saw the spoilers and you already know, then you don't really need to watch this video. But this is for people that avoided the spoilers and just basically watched. So that's basically me. I avoided the spoilers. So let's get right to it. So we get Ronda. So there was a contract signing between Ronda, Naomi, Charlotte, and Sonya. So anything that really involves Ronda, I just really don't enjoy. And then, so they had Ronda Rousey agree to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back because Ronda Rousey ran her mouth saying that she could win against Sonya Deville with one arm tied behind her back. So now they're going to handicap her at Extreme Rules. Yeah, and they will still win. They will still win. And Ronda Rousey will still win. She'll tap out Sonya Deville with one arm. And then we had a good match between Ricochet and Sheamus. Sheamus and Ricochet, they always have great matches together. If there's one thing that I will always enjoy, is a Ricochet-Sheamus match. Even if it doesn't matter if it's Sheamus winning or if it's Ricochet winning. These two just have great matches together. It's just awesome what kind of matches these two, put on together. It's just great stuff. So Sheamus and Ridge Holland seem to be starting to begin some downward spiral together. Man, you just paired these two together, and now you've already started to build some issues between them. That's kind of sad, if you ask me. But anyway, after a really good match between these two, it's Ricochet who walks away with the victory, pinning Sheamus after a recoil. I had no problem with this whatsoever. I like both Sheamus and Ricochet. And look at that. Ricochet is now getting more TV time. And he's actually now getting victories. And that's a good thing, in my opinion. Sheamus got mad at Ridge Holland and he pushed him over. I really hope they're not planning on breaking them up already. I mean, like, honestly, I think Sheamus and Ridge Holland can be a good duo, and I think Ridge Holland can definitely learn a lot from Sheamus. So, I really hope they don't break them up. And then we had Ivar battle Jey Uso. Ivar would win this match by disqualification. I don't really, I like the Viking Raiders and the Usos, but this feud's just not clicking with me. And obviously it makes sense for the Usos to be protected, because you're not going to beat them clean. We also got the Undertaker being inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Congratulations to the Undertaker. Very, very, very well deserved. Very well deserved there. Drew McIntyre proclaims that Elimination Chamber will be the night that the laughter dies when he battles Madcap Moss. For some reason, I've got a bad feeling that this match is going to end with Madcap Moss defeating Drew McIntyre. For some reason, I just got that funny feeling. And now let's talk about, the big match on the show. Sami Zayn versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Championship. Their match from TakeOver, which I believe it was about 20 2017, 2016? I can't remember off my head. But their match at TakeOver, when I saw Shinsuke for the very first time, that was a classic. It was definitely one of the best matches I've seen in quite a long time when Sami Zayn and Nakamura had that match. Now, I'm not trying to say for 1 second this match topped their TakeOver match. It didn't. Not even close. Not even close. But it was still a good match. It was still a good match. But it was more, well, Sami's now a heel. Back at TakeOver, it was just face versus face. So the dynamic was a lot different here. Sami Zayn would end up winning the Intercontinental Championship, and I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. Shinsuke Nakamura, he didn't really have a good run. It was very underwhelming and disappointing. And it ain't his fault. It's not his fault. I think we can all agree it's not Nakamura's fault that he didn't have a good run. Same thing with Sheamus when he barely defended the US title. It ain't his fault. It ain't on him. I think people need to understand that the talent don't have a lot to say. They just do what they're told. So anyway, so what went wrong? What went wrong here? Well, creative. That's what went wrong. Nakamura definitely, ever since Nakamura, whenever Nakamura wins titles on the main roster, he's just not treated as a champion. He's just not really treated as much as a champion. Like, it's great that he's getting accomplishments in the company, but people are just going to be like, yeah, well, his US and IC title reigns were not memorable. Back in the old days, back in the 90s, the Intercontinental Championship was made as a workhorse championship. And that would also elevate you to the next level, to eventually challenge for the WWE Championship. What happened to those days? What happened to the days when the Intercontinental and the US titles were very important championships for you to win? They were very important titles to win, because that would mean, oh hey, you eventually get shot up to the next level. It happened to Triple H when he was the IC champ. It happened to Austin. It happened to The Rock. Even John Cena when he was US champion on Smackdown. Randy Orton when he won the Intercontinental Championship. There were a lot of people back in the day that I could name that won the Intercontinental Championship and were eventually elevated up to the big time. Now, not all Intercontinental champions and US champions are built that way. And that's fine. If you think there are some superstars that fit better in that division... Oh yeah, and I guess Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart. They're the other two names that I can think of off my head as well. I guess I forgot about them. But, obviously there are some superstars that you think, okay, they're best suited for the mid-card. Like a Sami Zayn. Like a Shinsuke Nakamura. I'm perfectly fine with them being in the mid-card. But I just want the title to feel important. I just want the titles to be memorable. I want these titles to be what they used to be. To elevate you to the next level. If you don't think these superstars should be elevated to the next level by winning those titles, then that's perfectly fine. I can respect that. If you think Nakamura and Sami Zayn are perfect guys for the mid-card, that's great. I perfectly understand that. And I would agree. I think they are great guys for the mid-card division. Sometimes you need talented mid-carders. And that's why I'm perfectly fine with it. And Sami Zayn and Nakamura, they can be workhorses for that title. Same thing for Ricochet and Sheamus. Arguably four of the best wrestlers on SmackDown in the mid-card are those four people. Sami, Nakamura, Ricochet, and Sheamus. You've also got Cesaro, but you barely use him. But I'm saying, you've got talent. You've got talented guys that can make that title feel something. And that is what I miss from these, and that's what I miss from it. And that's what I miss about the Intercontinental and US titles. You've got talented guys that can make those titles feel important, but you just don't make them feel important. Same thing with Damian Priest. You got a lot of great guys on Raw to fight him over the US title. Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, AJ Styles. Make these titles feel important. Make them workhorse titles like they're supposed to be. And if the guys that you have down there is to eventually elevate them to the WWE or Universal title, then make it be that way. That's all I really want to say about this, because this is something I feel like I need to say. And I hope a lot of people agree with me, because I feel like this is what the titles really need to be more about. Workhorse matches and be the best matches on the card, and to hopefully, if WWE feel that talent can be elevated up to the main event scene. That's really all I want to say about Sami Zayn winning the Intercontinental Championship. It was a great match, and I'm not mad over Sami Zayn winning the title. And then the main event was Roman Reigns and Goldberg. You know the drill. It's the same old shit between them. And that's why I wanted to mainly talk about the Intercontinental title, because I don't care for Reigns and Goldberg's match. Roman Reigns is going to win. That's all you need to know. So that wraps up the Smackdown review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit that thumbs up. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Be sure to like and subscribe for more if you want to stay tuned into this channel. And be sure to hit the notification bell.